everybody, welcome back to my channel. I am happy to bring you today a hips and heart opening sequence. So we're going to be kind of opening the front body and it's going to feel amazing and I'm super excited. So let's just go ahead and get started. We will find easy seated pose. So come to the top of your mat, cross your ankles gently, let your knees open up to the side. Option to always sit up on a block, which kind of brings your hips a little higher, allows that pelvis to tilt a little bit more. Sometimes that feels a little more comfortable on your knees, or just ground down your sitting bones through the floor, maybe moving the flesh away from your sitting bones. Reach the crown of your head up towards the sky. Hands resting gently on your knees or your thighs. Palms can be facing down in a gesture of seeking grounding, or you can flip your palms to face up as a gesture of receiving vulnerability, whatever you need. And start to lengthen your inhales and your exhales. Filling your lungs, feeling the chest rise and all your ribs, even your side ribs, expand. And then exhale, feel it contract down as your belly button draws back towards your spine. Start to constrict the back of your throat to create that slight constricted noise, that ujjayi breath, the sound of the ocean, and focus on that sound and that vibration that it creates. Gather your hands in front of your heart. Press your thumbs into your sternum. Press the pads of your fingertips together. And take a moment to set your intention today for your practice. Why are you here? Why are you seeking yoga today? And then take one more big deep breath in. And then open your mouth side out. Again, inhale through your nose. And exhale, open your mouth side out. Float your eyes open. Rock forward over your knees, coming to tabletop position. Spread your fingertips wide, stacking shoulders right over your wrists, knees right under your hips. Start to move into cat and cow. Inhale, maybe bend your elbows, broaden your collarbones as you lift your tail, lift your gaze. And then exhale, press the floor away, arch your back, bring your belly button to your spine. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat. Keep moving on your own breath through this motion, keeping your inhales and your exhales long and steady. Continuing that ujjayi breath as you go, maybe taking any extra movements, maybe some rotations, opening up each side body. Maybe you just need to circle your head around, whatever your body needs today. And on your next inhale, coming to a neutral spine, go ahead and tuck your toes under. Push your hips high for downward facing dog. Our first downward dog of the day, go ahead and bend your left knee, press your right heel down towards the floor, and then switch. And then switch. And then switch again. Pressing both heels down towards the floor, but understanding that they do not touch, that is okay. Allowing a soft bend in your legs. Press your chest towards your thighs. Spread your fingertips wide. Make a long, straight line of energy from the base of your wrist to the top of your tail. Tailbone reaches. Check in with your neck. Can you shake your head no? And nod your head yes. Engaging your shoulder blades. Try and energetically turn the inner creases of your elbows towards the front of your space. Maybe a little micro bend in your elbows as well. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. Knit your lower ribs in. Beautiful. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Make a strong plank pose. Belly button to spine. Collarbones wide. Little micro bend in your elbows. Squeeze your thighs a little bit. Give a little bit of squeeze to your glutes. Back of neck is long. Gaze straight down towards your floor. And then lower your knees. Chin and chest. Elbows graze your ribs. Keep your hips high. Opening through your chest. And then wiggle all the way down. Untuck your toes. Pressing through your hands. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale down. Inhale, baby cobra. Squeeze your elbows in towards each other. Exhale down. One more time. Inhale, baby cobra. And exhale, press up and over your knees. Take a little handprint walk forward with both hands. Hands are wide on your mat. Keeping your hips high, we're going for puppy pose. Press your chest or chin down towards the floor. If you cannot touch your chest and your chin, rest your forehead, your third eye. Feeling that nice big stretch in our shoulders. Allowing your chest to sink. And then scoot your hands back that handprint length. Tuck your toes, send your hips high, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your heels, look towards your hands, and then take a little walk towards the front of your mat. Feet or hips with distance apart. Knees can be bent a lot. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Then exhale, forward fold. Hanging in ragdoll, knees are bent a lot. Allow your chest to rest on your thighs. Maybe grab opposite elbows. Back of neck is long, head is heavy. Crown of head reaching towards the floor. Maybe you sway side to side. Release your elbows and come to center. And slowly start to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last. Roll your shoulder blades down your back. Palms face forward, mountain pose. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, leaving your index finger up. Take an inhale, then exhale, side bend over to the left, opening your right side body. Press down through your right big toe mound, grounding down through that foot as you reach away with your upper body. And then inhale, come back up to center. Exhale, side bend towards the right, grounding down through that left big toe. Reach as far away as you can with your upper body. Coming back up, release your hands, reach behind your back, interlace your fingers, press your palms, roll your shoulders back, and then see if you can't straighten your elbows. Take a minute to knit your ribs back in. If you tended to let go, use your core here. Find that opening, that length in your chest while keeping your lower back out of the picture. Maybe you can gaze up at the sky for a moment. If you're gazing up, maybe just turn your chin to look towards the right. Keep looking up and to the right. And then coming through center, Turn your chin slightly to look to the left. Getting a nice big stretch of the front of your neck. We often don't stretch the front of our necks, but they get pretty tight sitting at computers looking at our phones. So it's an important stretch to do. Let go of your hands. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Then exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Hinge at your waist. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower down all the way or halfway chaturanga. Exhale, inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Moving into our sun salutation A is inhale, come on your tippy toes, look between your palms. Exhale, step or float to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen, forward fold, exhale. Inhale, root to rise, come all the way up to standing. Palms meet overhead, exhale, hands down in front of your heart. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your palms, step or float, chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, lift your heels, inhale, look up to your hands. Exhale, step or float to the front of your mat. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Root to rise, come all the way up to standing. Palms meet overhead. Exhale, hands down in front of your heart. Inhale, sweep your arms. Exhale, swan dive, hinge at your waist, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. 2 more times. Inhale, up on your tippy toes. Exhale, step or float. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Root to rise, inhale, all the way up. Exhale, hands come through center, but let's keep moving. Bow forward, forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Plant your palms, step or float back. Move through your vinyasa. Exhale on the chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We have one more. Do it on your own breath. You know where you're going. We will all meet down, back in downward facing dog. Go. Two breaths in your downward facing dog here. And then we'll move into our sun salutation B's. You're ready? Here we go. Inhale up on your tippy toes. Look between your palms. Exhale, step or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift in. Lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your big toes to touch. A little sliver of space between your heels. Then inhale, chair pose. Bend your knees. Sitting down, bending your hips, dropping your hips. Arms reach up. Gaze slightly forward of your mat. Pull your low ribs and your low belly. Squeeze your inner thighs like crazy. Take an inhale, then exhale. See if you can drop a little bit more. Bringing your hands through heart center, inhale, then exhale, fold it forward, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're gonna modify this one, be a little bit. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot through. Spin your left heel down and come up, warrior one. Keep pulling that left hip forward in space. Stack your right right knee right over your right ankle. Pulling your right hip, right femur into the hip socket. Spinning down through the outer edge of your right foot. Sorry, your left foot. Release the grip on your right toes if you are gripping. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands clasped behind your back. Knuckles reach down toward the floor as you lift your gaze, broaden your collarbones, and then bow forward inside your right leg for humble warrior. Keep pulling your shoulder blades away from your ears, and then maybe your knuckles reach a little further. And then adjust again, shoulder blades down, maybe reach a little further. Using the strength of your legs, inhale, come back up. Warrior one, release your grip. Reach your arms, take an inhale. Exhale, hands frame your right foot, step back to plank, maybe float that right leg. Lower chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Lift your left leg, inhale. Exhale, step your left foot through, right heel spins down. Warrior one. Pulling that right hip forward in space. Left knee directly over your left ankle. Plug that left femur into your hip socket. Pull your low belly in. Take an inhale. Maybe draw your wrists back. And exhale, hands clasped behind your back. Draw your knuckles down. Inhale, lift your gaze. Then exhale, take a dive, your humble warrior. Opening up your chest, opening up your heart. Using the strength of your legs, take an inhale, reach your arms up, find warrior one. Then exhale, hands frame your left foot. Step back to plank, maybe keep that left leg floating. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down facing dog. Take a breath. Sigh it out. We're going through one more time. Skip the humble warrior. Just a regular sun salutation B here. So inhale, up on your tippy toes, look between your palms. Exhale, step or float to the front of your mat. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose, inhale, one breath. Exhale, fold forward. Half lift, inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, step your right foot through. Big inhale, one, warrior one. Exhale, hands down, and vinyasa. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, left foot steps through. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, chaturanga. Now we're in down dog. Take a couple breaths here. Inhale your right leg up. Keep your hips square here. All 5 toes pointing down towards the floor. Softness in your left knee. Strength and energy in your upper body. Firm up your core. Take another inhale, then exhale, open your knee, open your hip, bend your knee, bring your heel to your seat. If you notice that you lifted your right armpit a little bit, drop it back down. Inhale, square your hips back off, lift your right heel. Exhale, step your right heel forward, foot forward, between your palms. Lower your left knee down. We're gonna come up for a low lunge. Just for a little moment here. Again, just to square those hips off. And then actually let's bring our hips to our hands to our hips. So you want your hips to be level. It's really common to lift that right hip up. So drop your right hip down. So now your hips are level. Take an inhale and then exhale. Tuck your tail, pull your belly in. Feel that stretch. Inhale, release. Exhale, little tuck. Inhale, release. Exhale, baby tuck. Good. Keeping that tuck position now, reaching your arms up overhead. Twist open to the right. Left arm reaches forward, right arm reaches back. Good. Take an inhale. Exhale, left hand down inside your right foot. Tuck your left toes. Now we're in like a twisted runner's lunge. Stack your right shoulder over your left. Gaze up at your right thumb. Strength in your left leg. Keep twisting. Keep dropping that right hip down so it's pointing straight back. Then lower your left knee. Maybe you can bend your left knee and take a hold of that left foot, getting another nice stretch. Now you should be feeling this more in your quad. Also getting a nice opening of the right shoulder. One more breath. Then release your foot. Tuck your left toes, both hands down to the mat. Then inhale, crescent lunge. Stack right knee right over your right ankle. Pull your left hip forward in space. Cactus your arms, pull your elbows back and down. Inhale, lift your chest, lift your gaze, don't change your legs. Exhale, hands come down. Step back to plank. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Staying in your squared three-legged dog here. Feeling a nice stretch in that right hamstring. Feeling strength and stability in your core and your upper body without getting into your neck. One more big inhale, then exhale, open your hip. Take your heel to your seat. If you notice that your left shoulder lifted a little bit, just kind of square those shoulders back down to the floor. Good. Inhale, lift your left heel. Three-legged dog, square your hips. Exhale, step your left foot through, lower your right knee, and come up for a low lunge. Let's bring our hands to our hips. Drop that left hip down a few times to lift. Take a big inhale. Exhale, tuck your tailbone without lifting your left hip. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, release. Exhale, tuck the tail. Good. Keeping that nice tuck and that hip drop down. It's hard for me on this side. Inhale your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, twist open to the left. Left arm reaches back, right arm reaches forward. Setting your right hand down inside your left foot. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee. Runner's lunge, twist. Stacking left shoulder over right. Keep dropping that left hip down if you notice that you're lifting it. I definitely catch myself doing that a lot. Set your right knee down. Maybe you can grab that right knee. Go ahead and let yourself lunge forward. Drop your hips a little bit. Getting a nice stretch of that left quad muscle. Really stretching out the front body today. Front of the hips, front of the heart, front of the chest. tuck your toes, lift your knee. Both hands down to the floor, square your hips off. Then inhale, crescent lunge. Keep those hips square. Keep that left hip pulling back so you don't lift it. Cactus your arms, pull your elbows down and back. Lift your chest, lift your gaze, open your collar. Exhale, hands come down. Step your left foot back to plank or float. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, open your hip. Moving into flip dog or wild thing, move to the outer edge of your left foot. Step your right foot back. Lift your hips. Gaze towards the front of your mat. Opening that right hip. It feels so good. Also getting a big heart opener here. Slowly and with intention, come back. Bring that right leg up. Inhale, square your hips off. Exhale, step your right foot through. Come right up, crescent lunge. Inhale. Take a twist. Over to the right, left arm's forward. Right arm's reaching back. On your next inhale, reach your right arm to the back of your left leg for a revolved, I don't know what this is, like a revolved peaceful warrior, but keep that left toe popped, heel popped. Big stretch to that left hip flexor. Big stretch to the left front of your shoulder. Maybe you can gaze up at your left hand. Then release that, swing your arm down, cartwheel down. Find warrior two. Good. Find your warrior two, find stability here. Maybe catch your breath, make sure you're slowing it down. I don't know why I'm so short of breath. Flip your right palm, inhale, reverse, just a normal reverse. Then exhale, we're going for side angle. So reach that right forearm to your right thigh. Reach the left arm up over your ear. Use your right forearm and thigh to press, opening your chest a little bit more. We're gonna work with binds here. So whether you just stop, maybe you just stop at the half bind, reaching that left arm for your right hip crease. That is a great chest opener. Keep pulling your right hip towards your arch of your left foot. Maybe you want a little bit more. Maybe just take your right hand down to the floor for a moment. Using your tricep towards the inner right thigh, keep pressing your chest. Lift your gaze. Maybe you can take a little bit more. Reach that right hand under. Maybe you find your left hand for that full bind. Wherever you land, keep twisting your chest towards the sky. And when you're ready, unwind. Reach your left arm up and over your ear for a moment. Then turn to face your right foot. Let's pop your left foot up and in for pyramid, both toes pointing forward. First inhale, lengthen. Then exhale, fold forward. Taking a block to the inside or outside or slightly in front of your right foot. Take your left hand wherever you'd like, or you can take it to the floor. I just think a block gives us some room. Pop up onto your left toes for a revolved triangle. Press out of that left shoulder, stack your right shoulder right on top. Keep reaching the crown of your head forward, lengthening your spine. Whew, I got the shakes today. Excellent job. Bring your hands down to the mat. Take your block away. Step your left foot back. Float your right foot in plank. Inhale. Chaturanga. Exhale. Upward facing. Inhale. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, bend your knee, open your hip. And then if you want, continue into wild thing. Dropping that left foot off of the mat. Inhale, lift your hips. Gaze forward. Reach that left arm forward. Push out to your right shoulder. And then slowly and with intention, find your three-legged dog. Square hips back up. Inhale. Exhale, step your left foot through. Come on up, warrior one. Crescent lunge, excuse me. Inhale, and then exhale. Twist open to the left. Reach your left arm back. Then find the back of your thigh with your left hand. Inhale, revolved, peaceful warrior. Good, big stretch in that right hip flexor. Big stretch on that whole right front of your body. Gaze up at your right palm once you find your balance. And then cartwheel your hands down, spin your right heel down. Find warrior two. Catching your breath, slowing it down. Flip your left palm, inhale, reverse. And then we exhale, find extended side angle on this side. Start slow. You have all the time you need. First, just find that position with your right arm up over your head. Keep spinning your chest towards the sky. Maybe you take your right hand to a half bind. Use your left forearm on your left thigh to keep pressing your chest up towards the sky. Maybe your left foot hand finds the floor and you find a little bit deeper stretch, or maybe you can reach under and take a hold of your right hand. Unwinding out of this. One more time, reach up with your right arm, and then turn to face your left foot. Pop your right foot up and in, pyramid pose. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, forward fold. Long spine here. Finding your block either inside in front or on the outside of your left foot. Right hand to the block. Come up on your right tippy toes and then start to twist, finding your revolved triangle. Spine is long. Kind of a counter stretch for that left hip after extended side angle. Very good. Both hands come down. Step your right foot back. Float your left foot in the plank. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly, but go slow. Once you land, untuck your toes. Reach your hands back by your waist. Pinkies up towards the sky, thumbs down. Make the back of your neck long. So you're holding your head up here, you're not resting. Pull your shoulder blades down and away from your ears. Pressing all 5 toes, tops of your toes and tops of your foot into the floor. Take an inhale and lift your chest, lift your toes. Reach your fingertips back. Locust. Find yourself making yourself longer as opposed to worrying about lifting up higher. And notice that both of them are one and the same. One more big inhale and exhale. Lower down, put your right cheek on the mat and maybe wobble your hips back and forth. Option to bend your knees and do little windshield wipers. Coming back to center. Reset yourself up. Nose towards the floor. All 5 toes pointing. Shoulders pulling away from the mat. And when you inhale, lift your chest. Lift your toes. Lift your thighs if you can. Keep the back of your neck long. Feel the strength of your upper back doing the lifting. Keep getting longer. Crown of your head reaching forward, toes like somebody's pulling you back. And then exhale, lower down. Left cheek to the floor. Maybe just wobble your hips side to side again. Or if you like that feeling of the windshield wiper, you can take that option. One more time, option to take another locust pose, or if upward facing bow is in your practice, bend both knees towards your hips. Take a hold of both ankles. Thumbs are gonna be pointing down. Flex your feet here. Bring your knees as close as you can. Reach your shoulder blades back towards each other. And then on your inhale, kick your shins into your hands and lift your chest. Keep kicking, keep lifting. Keep squeezing your knees in towards each other. And when you're ready, come on out. This time make a little pillow for your forehead so your neck can stay neutral. And then one more time, just allow your knees to switch side to side, releasing that lower back. So at this point, our back body is super warm, right? And our front body is feeling super long. So we are going to go into dancer. Press yourself up to downward facing dog. Reestablish your strength in downward facing dog. Reestablish your core. On your next inhale, lift your heels, look between your palms. Exhale, step or float to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Bend your knees, drop your hips, chair pose, inhale. Shift your weight into your right leg. Lift your left knee up and into your chest for standing leg raise. Flex your left foot. Extend your left knee. Keep flexing that foot back towards you. Rebend your left knee. Keep it bent as you come back. Drop your knee down towards your right knee. Take your left hand, reach for the inner arch of your left foot. Reestablish your core so that you're not pulling and dumping into your lower back, but you're lengthening through that upper back. And then slowly and carefully start to kick into your left hand as you hinge forward. Keep your gaze steady. Try Try not to let that left knee splay out to the side. Slowly coming out. Set your left foot down. Inhale, sweep your arms up over your head. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose, inhale. Shift your weight into your left knee. Standing leg raise, right leg comes up into your chest. Flex your foot a lot. Extend your right leg. Keep flexing your toes. Re-bend your right knee. Keeping that knee, that heel bent as close as you can. Drop your knee. Take your right hand to the inner arch of your right foot. Thumb is pointing towards your toes. Re-establish your core. And when you're ready, start to kick and bow forward. When you're ready, come on out. Step your right foot down. Inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Step or float back to plank. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Lowering down to your knees. Use of blocks may or may not be helpful here. We're going into camel. So have your blocks nearby. I think it's a good tool. You guys know that if you've been practicing with me for a while. Keep your toes tucked. And actually, squeeze your ankles and your toes together and just sit in toes pose for a minute. Always the option too, if you want a more of a stretch, place a block underneath your hips and just get that giant stretch on the sole of your feet. So good. And then when you're ready, place your blocks by your feet. Come up to a tall kneeling. Bring your knees slightly apart, but you don't want them to be externally rotated, okay? So maybe a little narrower than hips width distance. And then take your feet a little wider than your hips. A little trick I've learned to protect my lower back. Hands to that base of your sacrum. Press your hands down as you lift up and slowly arch back. Keep your hips pressing forward. Keep your elbows pulling in. Keep your breath steady. See if your hands can take a hold of your heels, and if not, maybe you can easily find your blocks. Keeping your shoulders forward. Your hips forward. I'm like falling all over the place. Blocks are actually harder because they're not steady. You're always option two to keep your hands on your hips. If your hands are on your hips, that's great because that actually you're giving your body way more control. Maybe you take your left hand to your heart and reach your right arm up towards the sky. Keep pressing your hips forward. Keep lifting up of that lower back. Switch right hand, reach the left hand up. Keep breathing. If you're taking full camel, bring your hands to your back and then start to slowly bring yourself up. Lower, untuck your toes, sit your hips back. Find child pose for a counter stretch. Take your time. Walk your hands back towards your knees. Reset yourself up. We'll take another round. Maybe you take a little different variation than you did this time. I'm gonna let you play around. So we have, let's do 1 minute. Don't worry, I'm not really timing that carefully, but take your time. Just big thing is, don't dump into your joints. This can be a pretty intense back bend. Taking your time to slowly come out. Always listening to your body, never succumbing to pain and just pushing through it. Find child pose. Stretch your other, stretch your counter stretch. Take your time. Come up to hands and knees. Tuck your toes. Send your hips high. Downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, step your right foot through. Set up for pigeon. So right foot towards your left wrist. Option to place a block under your right hip. I've been taking that block a lot lately. It just feels much better to me. Take an inhale, lift your chest, come up onto your fingertips, flex your right foot a lot. Make sure your left foot is coming straight back from your left hip. And then when you're ready, start to walk yourself forward, getting a nice hip stretch to that right outer hip. Walk your hands back towards your shin. Plant your palms, tuck your left toes, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale your left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, pigeon on the left side, left foot towards your right wrist. If you use a block on your right side, I encourage you to use it on both sides just so you stay even, because this is such a deep stretch. Inhale, come up on your fingertips, lift your chest. Maybe a little back bend for King Dancer. And then slowly walk your hands forward, stretching into your left hip. Walk your hands back to your left. Remove your block and then just go ahead and take a seat. Reach your legs out in front of you. Flex your feet, plant. Ground down through your sitting bones. Inhale, stretch your arms up overhead. Exhale with a flat back. Reach far, far forward. Find a long spine wherever you land. Maybe you lengthen. Inhale a little bit more. Then exhale, forward fold. Slowly walk your hands towards you. Inhale, reach your arms out wide. Exhale, start to roll back one vertebrae at a time. Nice and slow. Head is the last to land. Bend your knees, ground through your heels, your big toe mound. Line your heels and your middle toe up with your sitting bones. Hands down by your side. Take an inhale, lift your hips for bridge. Slowly rolling back down to your back, one vertebrae at a time if you can. Maybe your knees sway side to side. Releasing that lower back. And then setting up either for a second bridge, just like that. Option to place a block right underneath your sacrum, right where your glutes start, for a restorative bridge. Or if full wheel is in your practice, taking your time, go ahead and lift up into full wheel. Go ahead and take whichever variation you want at this point. Take care of your body, listen to your body. If you're going into full wheel, lift to the crown of your head first, then press yourself up. When you're ready, if you're in full wheel, lower to the tops of your shoulders first, and then roll on down. This time, let's bring our feet wide on the mat and windshield wiper one knee and then the other. Heel toe your feet back towards the middle. Bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Maybe rock yourself gently side to side, massaging your lower back. Keeping your knees in towards your chest, reach your arms straight out from your shoulders. Take both knees over to the left. Gaze at your right thumb. Keep your right shoulder blade grounded. Maybe take your left hand to the top of your right leg just to kind of keep yourself from flying up. My hip does not want to do that today. Allow this to be the time of your practice when you're letting go. You've done all the work there is today on your mat. Coming back to center, reach your left arm out to the side, straight out from your shoulder, drop your knees over to the right, gaze at your left thumb, maybe your right hand gives your left knee a little assist. Coming back to center, knees into your chest. Give yourself one more hug. Maybe your forehead meets your knees for a massive back body stretch. Stretch the front body so much today. Flex your toes. And then reach yourself long. Reach your arms up overhead. Stretch your legs out long. Make yourself as tall as you can. Tighten every muscle in your body. Squeeze your calves, your thighs, your glutes, your abs, your shoulders pressing into the floor. Squeeze even the muscles in your face. Take a big inhale. And then exhale, release all of everything. Bring your hands down by your side. Shoulder blades away from your ears. Palms facing the sky. Feet splay out. Close your eyes if you haven't already. Shavasana. Feel the heaviness in your forearms and your calves and the crown of your head. Almost like you're sinking into the floor. When you get up, there'll be a little indentation of your beautiful body on the floor. Start to bring awareness back to your breath. Noticing the rise and fall of your chest and the temperature and feel of the air as it goes in and out your body. Start to bring little movements back to your fingers, your toes. Maybe rock your head gently side to side. Release your jaw. Soften the space between your eyebrows. Pull your knees into your chest. Maybe take a couple ankle circles, wrist circles, and then give yourself one last little hug. And when you're ready, roll onto whichever side calls you. Staying in this side lying Shavasana for a moment. This practice was meant to open your heart and open your hips, two areas of our bodies that hold so much emotion. And it's your hips that hold it in, but it's your heart that shows your emotions. And so those two things need to be in sync and energy flowing equally between them. So my hope for you after this practice is that you just feel open and honest with yourself about those emotions so that you can go out and treat others in a compassionate way and work in a compassionate way. Slowly press yourself back up to a seated position, keeping your eyes closed if you're comfortable, or if not, just gaze softly at the floor in front of you. Ground down through your sitting bones. Lift the crown of your head up towards the sky. Melt your shoulder blades down your back. Take a little moment to scan your body from the crown of your head to the tops of your shoulders, arms, chest, low back, hips, and legs. Just note how you feel and how it might be different, not necessarily better or worse, just different than when you came onto your mat today. Gather your hands in front of your heart, pressing your thumbs into your sternum, pads of your fingertips pressing together. Take a moment to revisit your intention if you set one at the beginning of your class. I asked the question, why are you here? Why did you choose to do yoga today? Just revisit your answer to that question. And without judgment, did you achieve it? Or does it still need some work? Our intentions are not limited to this time that we spend on our mat. There's no way some of our intentions can be met in just an hour of exercise. So live your intention. Practice yoga in your everyday life. Bring your thumbs to your third eye, your seat of intuition and truth. Know that the light in me sees and honors the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you guys so much for practicing with me today and trusting me to take you through another yoga class. As always, I just ask that you like, comment, let me know what you're liking. Let me know if there's anything you want to work on in my next couple practices. I would love suggestions. If it's a specific asana, if it's a specific chakra, anything, I would love to hear from you guys. And just generally let me know. I would love to hear from my followers and everybody. So also share it with friends that might need some yoga in their lives, or have some yoga in their lives and are looking for something different. So I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you again.